So hello everyone. So now you can switch on your cameras and microphones. So we are starting in a second. Since it's a pronunciation workshop, so I will have to hear you. So can you switch on your cameras and yes, microphone? Okay. Hello. Okay. What about the rest? Okay, thank you. Good. Okay, so then let's begin. So before we start, so I'd like to know something about you. So can you just say a few words? And by the way, I'm Maria. I'm content producer for primary and preschool. So, and today I'm going to talk to you about pronunciation of all things. So can you say a few words about yourselves, please, okay? So Yelizaveta, let's start with you. So you can say where you live, okay, who you teach, what you do, just a couple of words, okay? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Hello, my name is Liz. I'm from Ukraine, Kharkiv. Right now I teach not only in Skyeng, I also teach in English courses.
Okay.
So I teach children and adults also.
Very good. Very good. Okay. Asia, right? Am I saying it correctly? Mm-hmm. Okay. What about you? We can't hear you, I'm afraid. Okay, now? Can't hear you. I don't know. Can you say something now? No, I'm afraid no sound. Okay, while you're trying to fix it, okay? So, Merlin, I guess. What about you?
Hello.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Well, my name is Aziz, not Merlin. Just it's a kind of name. I don't know. I think my book. Well, I live here in Moscow.
Okay.
Actually, I come from Uzbekistan, but for about 3 years, I've been working here as an English teacher in Moscow, and I came to Skyeng in I think May.
This year, okay.
Yeah, this year, and that's it.
Good. Thank you. Okay. Lena, what about you?
Hi, yes. I am from Ukraine, from Donbass, Lugansk district. I finished Slavyansk Pedagogical University 2005, I guess. And I used to teach kids at school for a couple of years while I was studying at the university.
Okay.
Then I immigrated to States and find a job. I wanted to find a job to work online, and I find Skyeng, and I work couple months here, and I really like it.
Very good. I like your board behind your back.
Yeah, getting ready for Christmas. It's in Tuesday, 25th.
Yes, good. Okay, thank you. Okay, so we have Julia with J. Yes, Julia.
Hello.
Okay, Julia then. Yes, I meant the other Julia, but Julia, yes, you can say a few words about yourself. Hi.
Okay, I don't know how to switch on my video camera.
So there is a camera icon here in the bottom.
Actually, I see it, but I can't click on it. Okay, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
So hello to everyone. Glad to see you today. So actually, I'm a teacher in Skyeng practically for 1 year,
Yes.
and I can see great results. Thank you very much. Actually, I'm a fan of kids, and I really want to do something in my life to make their lives better and to help them to believe in themselves.
Very good. That's a good mission. Nice, nice. Okay, okay, thank you. Okay, so we have also one of our methodologists with us, Narine. Are you going to say a few words? Or are you just passing by? Silent participant, I guess. Okay, okay. So, and Marina also, our assessor, welcome. Are you there?
Hi to everyone.
Hi.
It's a little build out because of my crazy kids, but I also glad to be here and to see you.
Okay, okay, okay. So yes, Julia.
Hello. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, yeah, Narina. Hi, hi.
Hi, I'm a methodologist in Skyeng. Well, I started working when the Kids Lab Primary started. So I've been with kids like for about 1 year. And before that, I worked with Junior. So glad to see everyone.
Yes, yes, thank you. Okay, okay, so let's begin. So I see that people are joining, okay, but we should get going. So today we're going to talk about pronunciation. So, and before I share, yes, my presentation with you. So what do you, yes, hi, Julia. Oh, sorry, Maria, yes, I saw you joined one of the first, but I didn't ask you anything. So,
sorry I was late for about a few minutes. Hello.
Hi, hi.
You mean me, Maria, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Well, as Julia, I'm here with Skyeng for about 1 year, nearly 1 year. I've joined on February, I think, this year, and I started it as a freelance. But now I can see that it started to be more for me, not just only freelance, but teaching is my life. I can say right now, I'm working only here, and I'm enjoying it every minute. So thank you.
Yes, very good. Thank you. Okay, so let's start. And my first question to you is, so when you hear the word pronunciation, so what's your first thought? For me, it used to be something like boring. Yes, I remember pronunciation practice I had at university, so it was always something, a lot of listening and repeating, parrot-like, yes, but without seeing any results. So what about you? So what's your first idea? So what's your first emotion, yes, when you hear pronunciation?
Tongue twisters.
Tongue twisters, yeah. Okay, Lena?
Accent. It's about your accent.
Okay, okay. Liz, what about you? Can we call you Liz? Yes, Елизавета.
Every time I hear this word, I think I need to improve it a lot.
Yes, okay. Okay, yes. Sometimes something many people feel disappointed maybe about, yes, because they have certain expectations, yes, towards how they sound, yes, but not many people can, yes, speak like native speakers. Okay, so today I'm going to tell you about one approach to teaching and practicing pronunciation that I find very useful, and we're going to practice together. So, and I will also give you some tips how to do it on your own, okay? Okay, so let me start. Oops. Okay. 1 second. Okay, there we go. So I'm going to speak about British pronunciation. I know that everybody has their own preferences. Some like American accent, some prefer British. I personally enjoy the British accent more. But yes, it's up to you, okay? And I'm going to talk about British RP, yes, what they call received pronunciation, okay? Okay, so some say that British pronunciation is hard to understand. So, and I'm going to show you how hard actually. So, and we're going to watch this short video. Okay, just give me a second. I'll stop sharing because I forgot to share the sound with you too. Okay, so let's watch it.
Why do we need the dog? It's not the dog we need.
I couldn't see the view more. Was he Mombo?
Right. What did he say?
Said edge is edge, huh? He only chopped him down because he couldn't see the view no more. What's he Mombo?
What did he say?
He said an edge is an edge. He only chopped it down because it spoiled his view. What's Reaper moaning about?
Right. Look, I appreciate your position, Mr. Webley, but you can't go around chopping down other people's hedges without permission.
I suppose.
I suppose.
Yes, I suppose. Thank you.
Aye.
All right. Mr. Webley, I trust you have a license for that firearm.
I does for this one.
Does for this one.
He does for this one. What do you mean by this one?
Okay, so you see that they couldn't understand each other very much here. So there are many accents in Great Britain. Some, yes, are very incomprehensible. Okay, so let's start. So the approach that I'm going to tell you about is by Adrian Underhill. He is a pronunciation expert and he is the author of the phonemic chart I'm going to show you. So he divides pronunciation into 3 levels. So you can see them all here. So they are the sounds, the words, and connected speech. So connected speech, of course, being the goal, yes, of everything. But to be able to speak, yes, like this, you know, because native speakers speak with connected speech, yes, and to be able to do that, you need to pass through the first 2 levels. So being able to pronounce individual sounds properly, then sounds join into words, and you need to put the proper stress, yes, on the proper syllables. And when you join the words together, you have connected speech plus intonation, and that makes you, yes, sound more and more, yes, like RP. Okay, so the phonemic chart I just mentioned looks like this. Is anybody familiar with Underhill's phonemic chart? Do you see it for the first time? Yes? Okay, so I'm going then to yes, explain in a few words what it actually means. So you see that it's a chart with symbols. So each symbol is a sound. Yeah, so it's a transcription actually. But the chart is organized in a very clever way, actually. And can you guess why? What makes it so clever? I mean, what? Transcription, what? It's not something, it's not anything new, right? But what is so special about this chart? What do you think? Just look at it carefully. Yes, Maria, you have an idea? Uh-huh.
Vowels in the left corner, right? In the upper level corner, consonants down.
Yes, yes.
Under the line, and in the right corner, well, I'd say diphthongs or something like that.
Yes, yes, correct. So we have vowels, diphthongs, yes, and we have consonants down here. Okay, and if we look at the vowels only, so why do you think that they are positioned like this? Is it random? Well, it's not random. So if you look carefully, so the sounds on the chart are positioned according to their relation to each other. So, and symbolically, so here, so this is the front of your mouth, yes, because mouth being the main articulation mechanism, of course. So this will be the front, so this will be the back, and this will be the middle. And when I say that, so what I mean, so one thing you need to understand, yes, and remember about pronunciation is that it's physical. So pronunciation is physical, which means it's visible. When we pronounce Russian sounds, so we don't use our articulation mechanism in such an active way, but with English it's different. I'm going to prove it to you. I'm going to mime 2 sounds, okay, but I'm not going to say them you need to guess what I'm miming actually, okay? Okay, so look carefully. What sound is it?
E.
Very good, okay. And one more. What is it? Ooh, that's right. You see, so you had no problems guessing, yes, because it's very visible. And I used my mouth, yes, my lips, yes, very actively. So, and that's very typical of British pronunciation. Okay, so I'm going to speak about a few sounds on the chart that make the British accent, yes, really British. And I will start with the consonants. So why do you think I singled out P, T, and K? What's special about them? How are
Aspiration.
they different? Yes, that's right. Okay, so if you studied at the language faculty, yes, so you know all about aspiration. But what is it actually? In simple words, what does it mean, aspiration?
Придыхание.
Yes, it means that like air comes through your mouth, yes, when you say these sounds very actively, okay? So it's not just P, yes, like we say it in Russian, but it's P. And I remember when I was a student, so my teacher taught me a few tricks, yes, to practice these three sounds. So one of them is like putting your palm, yes, in front of your mouth. So, and making sure that you feel this air, yes, when you say the sound. For example, P. Okay, try it right now. So
it was like this.
Yes, P. Okay.
In my university.
Correct. Yes, you can also take a piece of paper. Very good. So, and if you say the sounds properly, yes, so the piece of paper will bound. Mm-hmm. That's right. Okay, so some also practice with a candle. Yes, if you say it properly, so the candle will, yes, you'll put the fire out. Okay, very good. By the way, so one thing I didn't say that, but is important. When I said that pronunciation is physical and it's visible, it also means that you need to know what is actually going on in your mouth. So if you want to pronounce the sounds properly, okay, so you need to know what exactly happens, yes, in your mouth. So, and the best technique would be to imagine that your mouth is like a forest. Okay, so imagine that the mouth cavity is a forest. So the teeth are maybe trees, okay? So your tongue is like a river. So sometimes the river goes up, sometimes it's very low, yes, sometimes it flows through the teeth, okay? So, and you know, all these movements, yes, sometimes trees also start moving, right? So the air is like, thanks. The air is like, I mean, the air that goes through your mouth, yes, your voice is like the wind, okay? So that sometimes is very strong, sometimes not at all, okay? So imagine it like this, and every time, yes, you practice articulation of the sounds, so just check, yes, that everything is in your forest is positioned in the right way, okay? Okay, so one more sound. Some say that it's one of the most common sounds in English is the schwa sound. This one, yes, or also commonly known as the neutral sound. And why is it so common? Do you know? I have 3 examples here with 3 words. Away, yes, computer, doctor. Why is it so common?
Maybe because when we don't have a stress on some vowel, we have exactly this sound.
Yes, that's right. So the schwa sound comes up in most unstressed syllables. Very good. And how do we pronounce the schwa sound? I'm going back to the chart. So this is the sound that some say they can't master, some try to put an effort and can't say it, but it's actually the easiest sound. And to be able to pronounce the sound, you need to relax completely. So this is the sound that you pronounce without any muscle work, like nothing at all. Try it right now. Just open your mouth a little bit and just say, Make a stupid face or something, like no muscle work or something. Yes, okay. And now try to look a bit more intelligent. Okay, so I don't move anything. Yes, nothing at all. Not my mouth, not my tongue, nothing. Okay, so this is the neutral sound, the schwa sound. No muscle work whatsoever. Okay. Okay, and one more that many learners make mistakes with. So the diphthong O. It's also very, very typically English. And look at these three words. How do you say them? Can somebody read it? So Lena, maybe can you read them please for us?
Go, don't, and last one. Wo. It's W-O.
Okay, no. It's will not, the short form.
Won't.
Okay, yes. Okay, thank you. So now, Maria, will you try to?
Thank you. Yes, I've heard it once as go, don't, and won't, something like that.
Yes, very good. Yulia, do you want to try?
Go, don't, won't.
That's right. So it's more like oh, yes, and that's what makes it different from Russian. Yes, from the Russian accent. It's not o, it's not o. Yes, but it's oh, like phone, go. Yes, don't, won't. And be careful, especially with the last one, because there is another word that you spell W-A-N-T, right? Which is want, okay? Which has a completely different meaning. So if you pronounce it in a different, if you pronounce won't in the Russian way, yes, want, it will mean a completely different thing. So somebody won't understand. So do you want to do it, or you won't actually do it? Yes, something like that. Okay, so be careful with this sound. Can you give me more examples maybe with O? Nothing. So I said phone before, yes?
Be frozen.
Frozen, okay, very good.
What about so?
So, correct. Very good, thank you. Okay, so now I'm going to skip word stress. This is the second level of pronunciation. I trust you can all use a dictionary, yes, and check the stress whenever you need it. So, but the main goal of pronunciation practice is always connected speech. Does anybody know what it means? Connected speech. So native speakers, yes, use connected speech.
An example.
Okay, Maria, give us an example.
I know what is it. I'm trying to. Two words should be connected with each other. There aren't, not there aren't, there aren't. No, there aren't, something like this.
Correct. Yes, Liz, what did you want to say?
Yeah, the same, that you connect all the words between each other so they sound like one word.
Exactly. So connected speech means, yes, saying all the words together as one word without making any pauses unless necessary. Okay, so and it's like floating from your mouth, right? So native speakers do it like this. So we're going to practice connected speech on one poem. It's Little Red Riding Hood by Roald Dahl. Perhaps you know the author, Roald Dahl. So he wrote the novel Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, Matilda. So he wrote stories for children, novels and stories. But he also has a very interesting book. I wanted to show you, but okay. So it's called Revolting Rhymes. So he wrote children's fairy tales in his own way. And it's very good for pronunciation practice and especially connected speech. So now that we've established what connected speech is, so how do we do it? how can we master connected speech? What do we actually need to do? Merlin, are you here? Or has he left? Or who shall I ask? Does anybody want to volunteer? Who knows?
Maybe we should try to sing a little bit
sing.
to prolong the sound.
Maybe.
Yes, I visit my singing classes, and we also always try also to connect the words between each other, and then decided it would get pretty.
Yes, okay, but it's not easy. So and what's the trick? So how can you be able to use connected speech? So look at the first two lines. So I underlined sound words here. Why did I do it? Who has an idea? Lena, do you have an idea maybe?
So we can stop only on a commas and dots.
Okay.
Breathe in and try to say sentence in one breath.
maybe, but again, it's not easy to do. So the trick would be in intonation, yes, some call it sentence stress. So it's when we put stress on certain words only. So for example, here I underlined some words, so they are soon, yes, wolf, began, fill, right, in the first line, etc. So which means that when you read this poem, you should stress these words and you should not stress the others, okay? And why these words? What kind of words do we stress?
Meaningful words.
Correct, yes, meaningful words, words that are important to understanding.
So we don't stress prepositions, right?
Correct.
Or something
Correct.
like that.
Yes. So we only stress nouns, verbs, adjectives, adverbs, so words that carry meaning, that are important to communicate a message, yes, you want to deliver. The others, like prepositions, auxiliary verbs, conjunctions, articles, etc., so they are not stressed. So if they are not stressed, what would they have? What sounds would they be pronounced with?
Schwa.
With a schwa. With a schwa, that's right. So I'm going to read the first line for you in the wrong way, okay? As soon as wolf began to feel, right? Strange. So native speakers don't say it like this, okay? And it's not only difficult to say, it's also difficult to listen. If I read the whole poem in this way, so I don't know, so you would all run away from, okay? So you wouldn't be able to listen for long, it's because it's impossible. And it's not easy to say. So, but if you put stress only on some words in the line while pronouncing the others indistinctly, quickly, right, with the schwa sound, it gets much easier and it's more, it sounds connected. So let me try. As soon as wolf began to feel, yes, blah, blah, blah. So look at these three words that I didn't underline. So separately, yes, this one would be as, okay? But in connected speech, we say what?
As soon as.
Yes. And this word before feel, so it's to, the particle to, right? But in connected speech again, it's to feel, right? Not to feel, but to fill, okay? So now I'll give you 5 seconds so you can mute your microphones if you like. And you read this line, okay, putting stress on the words that are underlined and not putting any stress on the other words, okay? So try it for yourself. Okay, does anybody want to demonstrate, to show an example? A brave volunteer.
Oh, maybe I can show.
Okay, Alexandra.
because I really want to understand British speech.
Okay.
Okay. As soon as Wolf began to feel that he would like a decent meal, something like that.
Okay.
Or,
yes.
Or I should continue.
It's enough. It's enough. Thank you. Thank you. That's right. Okay. Who else wants to try? Liz. Okay, Lena, please.
As soon as Wolf began to feel that he would like a decent meal.
Yes, yes, very good. So, and Lena, a bit earlier you said about something about commas. So we see a comma here. You were right, actually. So it means a pause. So in the English language, punctuation is usually logical. Especially commas, okay? Pay attention to commas. A comma is the end of the sentence. And it's what Russian learners always make mistakes with because we don't have it in Russian. So in the Russian language, we usually, the voice usually goes up at the end of the sentences. Okay, so like we're surprised all the time. So, but in the English, you really need to put it down. Okay, so it's not like, so if we continue the poem, so he went and knocked on grandma's door. Most would say it like this, but it's not door, it's door. Okay, he went and knocked on grandma's door. Okay, so pay attention. So I remember I had a very good pronunciation tutor. So she used to say, so when I listen you speak, I imagine that you are flying a parachute and instead of landing on the ground, you hang on a tree. Yes, because I don't finish my sentences, and that's what most Russian speakers actually do. So they hang on trees, okay? So, but you need to go down to the ground, okay? So you need to really put the sentences down. So he went and knocked on grandma's door. When grandma opened it, she saw the sharp white teeth, the horrid grin, and Wolfie said, "May I come in?" Here, yes, may I come in? Yes, intonation goes up because it's a question, obviously. Okay, so one more thing I'd like to point out. So look at the last line. Two words here, her and up. Why did I, why did I made them like this?
Because here we will pronounce this R sound. We won't say her, we will say her up.
Correct. So it's called a linking r. Yes, so as Maria pointed out, yes, so we don't typically pronounce the r sound, not at the end of words. So, but the thing about English sounds is that vowels are quite difficult to pronounce, especially if vowels go together. Her up. I mean, it's difficult. It's impossible to make it connected. Yes, he ate her up. I mean, yes, not easy. So to make it easier, again, to make it connected, so we link them together with r. He ate her up. Okay. Again, it's received pronunciation. In some accents, it won't be like this, so you won't hear r. But it's easier like this. He ate her up. Yes, try it. Try it.
Her up.
Correct. He ate her up in one big bite. Very good. Okay. So now we are going to practice a little. I will give you 1 minute. So again, you can mute your microphones. I will give you 1 minute and you will read this poem to yourselves. Okay. So taking everything into account, everything we've just said. So putting stress on meaningful words. Yes, your voice goes down, yes, at the end of the sentence. When it's a question, it goes up, okay? And if necessary, pronounce the linking r, okay? So 1 minute for you all to practice. Okay. Okay, so let's look at the third line. So what words should we pronounce with stress here?
He went, knocked.
Okay. Grandmas. Grandmas and door. Right. Okay, what about line 4? Liz, line 4.
Grandma opened, she saw.
Okay, maybe when a bit, when grandma, okay, opened it. Correct. Okay, Lena, what about the next line? Here, yes, the sharp white teeth.
I was muted, sorry.
Yes.
Sharp
teeth,
horrid green.
Correct, and white too. So only the articles, yes, would bear no stress. Okay, Alexandra, what about the next one?
Wolfie said.
Correct.
May I come in? May I come in?
Okay.
Maybe all these questions, may I come in?
May I come in? Yes, yes. Yeah. Yes, that's right. When prepositions are at the end of the sentence and when they bear meaning, because here it's important, right? So you pronounce them too. So it's always logical. Okay, Maria, what about the next one?
Poor grandmama, terrified.
Terrified, yes. Was will not be was, yes, but was.
Something like that.
Okay. Okay, the next one. So I can't see you, all of you.
Me too? Or whom?
No. So maybe Marina, do you want to try the next one? So with direct speech. He's going this one.
He's going it. She cried.
He's going to eat. Eat me up.
Do we need up?
Up, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, she cried. Yes, she cried. Cried, definitely, yes. Correct. Okay. Daria, yes, we have Daria. So what do you think? The last but one, this one.
I think absolutely.
Absolutely.
And she was absolutely right.
And right too. And she was absolutely right. Yes, most stress would be on absolutely right. Maybe a little bit on she. Okay, and the last one, Narine, are you with us? Okay, maybe one more, Yelizaveta, right?
He ate her up together, ate her up. One big bite.
Bite, one big bite. Yes, that's right. Okay, so now we're going to check. We're going to listen to this story, only part of it. Yes, I will pause it and we will check. So you will not hear the linking r in this version, like I said, so not everybody says it, depends on the accent again, okay, but you will clearly see the connected speech.
As soon as Wolf began to feel that he would like a decent meal, he went and knocked on Grandma's door. When Grandma opened it, she saw the sharp white teeth, the horrid grin, and Wolfie said,
"May I come in?"
Poor Grandmama was terrified. "He's going to eat me up," she cried. And she was absolutely right. He ate her up in one big bite. But Grandmama was small and tough, and Wolfie wailed,
"That's not enough. I haven't yet begun to feel that I have had a decent meal."
He ran around the kitchen yelping.
"I got to have another helping."
Then added with a frightful leer,
"I'm therefore going to wait right here till little Miss Red Riding Hood comes home from walking in the wood."
Okay, so I'll stop it here. So did you hear connected speech? So you heard the speech floating, right, as one word, so very quickly. smoothly, right? And yes, you didn't hear all the words distinctly. So that's connected speech. Okay, so I've included one more exercise for you. So there is a very funny lady on YouTube. So she has her own channel. So she imitates different accents. So her name is Ilana. So you can check her out. So she's really good. And here she is imitating the British accent. And she speaks as Hermione Granger from Harry Potter. So she will ask you to repeat after her. So you can do it, yes, if you want.
Repeat after me. Hi, I'm Hermione Granger, and you are? I read...
Okay, so just feel free to repeat after her. Hi, yes, I'm Hermione Granger, and you are?
That in Hogwarts, a history. What are you two doing? That's barbaric. I hope you're pleased with yourselves. We could have been killed, or worse, expelled. You're saying it wrong. It's Wingardium Leviosa. Neville, I'm really sorry about this. Petrificus totalis. Nearly headless? How can you be nearly headless? It's sort of exciting, isn't it? Breaking the rules. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel.
Okay, so you can practice, yes, at home and repeat after her. Okay.
They really had to get Alan Rickman, I think.
Okay.
Mr.
Yes.
Harry Potter.
That's right. Okay, so Harry Potter, yes, is good for practicing, yes, British pronunciation. So, and I'm going to give you some more tips. Speaking of, films, yes, and TV shows. So, they say that the best way to practice pronunciation is by listening and imitating. Yes, definitely. But you can't always do that. So only listening will also do. So because despite, yes, common opinion, so we do practice pronunciation by listening actually. So because when you listen to an accent and the more you listen, the less strange it sounds to you, and which it means that you are attuned to the accent. And when it also, when you speak, and when it's not strange to you anymore, it also means that you're attuned, yes, to the accent you're learning. So, and you can only do that by listening as much as possible. So you should listen to audiobooks. Yes, at the beginning, if it's difficult to understand, you can read and listen, and make it quality audiobooks. Let's say if we speak about Harry Potter, so it was, I think, Stephen Fry recorded some of the Harry Potter books. So they're really good. Watch your favorite TV shows, films, British TV shows. Yes, there are a lot of good BBC production films, yes, and ITV. They can be streamed on the internet. Watch Netflix. So just make it a pleasure activity, yes, not just pronunciation practice that is boring and that will bring no results and you will give it up anyway, okay? So make it pleasure and yes, you will enjoy. And practice, yes, practice makes perfect. Practice as much as possible and yes, you will achieve your goal eventually, okay? So that's all I wanted to tell you about. So do you have any questions now?
Yeah, I've got one question.
Okay.
I'd like to know. I would like to know whether it is more preferable to listen to something with subtitles or without subtitles.
You mean whether subtitles help or harm? Yes, this is the question. Yeah. So it depends what you are practicing. Yes, if you're practicing listening comprehension, so and it's difficult for you, so you can read and listen. Okay, like I said, as I said before. So it doesn't really matter for pronunciation practice. So with or without subtitles. So it's important that you listen and you get attuned okay, to what you hear, and that's it. But for listening comprehension, if you do that, so there are usually different steps. Yes, the first steps would be to watch it with subtitles, then slowly, yes, you should ignore them, yes, and then you switch them off completely. But it all comes with time, listening and pronunciation, so they really take time. Okay?
Sure. Thank you.
Okay, any other questions?
I have a question about how we can help our little students to pronounce properly, because I have a student and she cannot repeat after me. If I say slowly and I show my lips and we try again, or I ask her to listen not to me but the audio, she can pronounce it.
As I said before, yes, just meaningless imitation and repetition, so brings no result. So what you should do, you should really explain, yes, how she should position, yes, her articulation organs. So, and make it a game, yes, like as I did at the beginning. So tell her, okay, imagine that your mouth is a forest, okay? So these are trees, this is a river. Okay, now the river flows through the trees, okay, something like this. So use different techniques like this, and don't say, okay, so this is a sound with aspiration, okay, so put your lips like this, your tongue goes down, or you're down, etc. So children won't understand something like this. But if you make it children friendly, yeah, so like a game.
And how old is she?
She's 8. Yeah, she's a starter, and it's really, she can read, but pronounce maybe new words, it's kind of challenging.
I don't know, maybe showing her some pictures, giving her just modeling and drilling, okay, sometimes, but on condition that she articulates the sound properly. Okay, so which means that camera, so the big screen will help, so you can see how she positions her lips and tongue and everything else. Okay, and you should correct her if it's not right. Okay.
Okay, I have one question. Actually, it is a question of my life. So, are there rules about sentence melody in English?
There are
so,
rules.
for example, in French, there is a rule of pronunciation of this sentence. What about English?
So, do you mean intonation, or do you really mean the melody, the rhythm?
I'm asking about pauses.
No pauses. So there is a rule about connected speech unless it's logically necessary. Okay. So, for example, a comma indicates a pause. A full stop indicates a long pause. So, and it's a semantic. So, which means that when there should be, like when it's the end of an idea, so you make a pause. Okay, something like this. So it goes in clusters, semantic clusters. But apart from that, normal pauses. It's connected speech.
May I add something?
Okay.
I think sometimes we have logical pauses, like when we have commas or full stops and stuff, but sometimes we also have this emotive, empathic pauses when we want to underline certain feelings or underline a part of our speech. We use emotive pause, empathic pause, so it depends on the context largely. Depends on what part of our speech we want to underline, to highlight.
Yes, that's right. So semantic or emotional, yes. So it's indicated by your intonation anyway. But again, so we can read many books on theoretical phonetics. So, but there are many theories and approaches. My recommendation would be choose the one that you like most, that you understand. For example, I understand 3 levels of pronunciation, and that's something that I practice. Okay. So, and that's it. the same about methodology. So there are so many specialists, yes, and that will, each of them will tell you a different story. Choose the one that you support, yes, that you understand, that you like, and yes. Okay.
I may add a bit about pauses and melody of the sentence. I'm actually now in Liverpool in United Kingdom, and I wanted to add about different accents, and here's the Scouse accent, and for me it's here like totally different language. It's not easy to understand at all. They connect everything in one little tiny words, and yeah, there's almost no pauses. For example, they can say "Are you right?" It means "Are you all right?" Just small little. And I have friends, they're from the middle of the UK, and it's different accent again. And some of them, they made pauses, and it make it easier to understand. But usually it's just endless speech. Only if they need to, they have nothing to say more about this particular idea. That's why just sometimes just they go in like this, one level.
Yes, a lot of accents in Great Britain. A Manchester accent is difficult to understand. Cockney, Scottish, yes, and Welsh, etc., etc. So choose the one that you like. I personally like the Scottish accent very much. I don't think I will ever be able to master it. Yeah, maybe one day. Okay. So, but yes, thank you, Alexandra, for the comment. Yes, and I'm pretty much sure. So the longer you live, yes, in Liverpool, the better. So you will understand, and you will be able to imitate it, because it takes time, and you have the advantages of listening to it all the time. Okay, so I sent you a link in the chat. So this is the link to the phonemic chart I used today, as I showed you today. So it's interactive, so check it out, practice. Okay, and good luck to you with that.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Maria.
See you.
Bye-bye.
See you all.
Bye.